Hello viewers, this is Not Too Fast here. Check out this rearview mirror dashcam from the company Boscam. What you're looking at is a 9.35-inch laminated anti-glare display. This dashcam comes with a front camera and a rear camera. Both cameras record in Full HD 1080p. This dashcam uses a Sony IMX 307 image sensor for excellent video quality. It also features Starlight Night Vision for nighttime recording. Let me first show you the unboxing of this unit. The Boscam rearview mirror dashcam come in this box. User manual. There's a rearview mirror dashcam unit. Rear camera mounting plate. Rubber straps for installing the rearview mirror. Here's another set of straps. GPS antenna. Rear camera cable, 12-volt power cable. Here's a look at everything you get with this dashcam. Let's have a closer look at this dashcam. On the front is a 9.35-inch color LCD touchscreen. The display resolution is 1280 by 320. Looking at the bottom, there's a power switch. Next to it is a microphone. Looking at the top, there's a USB-C power plug. Next to it is AV connector. This is where you connect the rear camera cable. Next to it is a microSD memory card slot. The maximum memory you can install on this unit is 64 GB. On the right is a GPS port. Looking at the back, there's a reset switch. On this side is a front-facing camera. Now you can slide this camera out to fit the width of the factory rearview mirror. Now to install this unit onto your mirror, you'll be using these hooks right here, along with the rubber straps. Hook the strap on one end, and then wrap it over the rearview mirror, and then hook it to the bottom hook. This front camera records in Full HD, 1080p, 30 frames per second, and the field of view is 145 degrees. Here I'll install a memory card. Now this unit does not come with one, so you do have to provide your own. Now the working temperature of this dashcam is minus 20 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius, or minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit to 149 degrees Fahrenheit. So this unit will work well in cold and hot climate. There are 3 cables you need to connect to this dashcam. First one here is a power cable. Connect it to a power input port. Next is a rear camera cable. Connect it to the AV in. The last one is a GPS antenna. Plug this into a GPS port. Here's a look at the rear camera. It records in 1080p, 25 frames per second, and the field of view is 150 degrees. This camera is waterproof, so you can mount it inside or outside the vehicle. Now at the end of the cable, you have this connector. Connect this to a rear camera cable. Let's remove this protective plastic. I'll power this on. Once the dashcam power on, the recording will begin automatically. That's indicated by the red dot right here. If you touch a screen, a menu will come up. The first item on the left side is a microphone. If you tap this, it'll mute the microphone. Touch again, unmute it. Next button here is a change of view on the display. So right now we're looking at the rear view on the left side and the front view on the right side. Now we're looking at the front camera. Back to the rear camera. Next button is the playback button to play back the recorded video. In the middle is the record button. If you press this, it'll stop the recording. Press it again to start the recording. There's a camera button to take a snapshot. So if you see something happening on the road, you can take a picture. Next to it is a lock button. This will lock the current video file. So while you're driving, if you see something happening on the road and you want to lock this video file, you can lock it so it will not be overwritten. On the far right is a settings button. To get into settings, you do have to stop the recording first. In the settings menu, you have 2 tabs, movie mode and general settings. First item under movie mode is resolution. Here you can change the recording resolution from 1080p to 720p. Next item is movie clip time. This is a loop recording. You can set it for 1 minute, 3 minute, or 6 minute. Now this dashcam will record front and rear camera simultaneously non-stop while you're driving. And by default it will record a series of 1 minute clips. You can change it to 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Sound record will turn on and off the microphone. Reverse line switch by default is enabled. This will display the backup grid line when you put the car in reverse. Driving mode by default is disabled. If you enable this, 30 seconds after power up, The display will show you the speed you're traveling at. Parking monitor by default is off. If you enable this, when you turn off the ignition, the dashcam will be in standby mode. When it detects an impact to the vehicle, it'll turn on automatically and record a 30-second video clip for the front and rear camera, and then shut off and go back to standby mode. Let's go to general settings. First item is beep, by default is on. Next item is volume. By default is high. You can set it for off, middle, or low. Language. Here you can select different languages. LCD power save. This is a screensaver. By default is off. You can set it for 1 minute or 3 minutes. So if you enable this, after this time period, the LCD will turn off. Protect level. There's a G sensor. By default is middle. You can turn it off or set it for high or low. With the G sensor, while the dash cam is recording, if it detects an impact, it'll lock that video clip so it will not be overwritten. Speed unit. You can set it for kilometers per hour or miles per hour. GPS sync time, by default is enabled. This will automatically sync the date and time. Time zone, you can set the GMT time. Clock setting will allow you to manually set the clock. Date format will allow you to set the display format for the dates. Time format, 12 hours or 24 hours. Automatic rear view, by default is enabled. With this enabled, after 30 seconds of recording, doesn't matter what display you're looking at, it will automatically switch to the rear view. Reset setup will restore the unit back to factory default. Format SD card will format the microSD memory card. The last menu item is firmware version. When you're done with the settings, go back. So let's take this to the vehicle, get it installed, and we'll check out the daytime and nighttime recording. To install the dash cam, place a rubber strap onto the top hook. Place the dash cam in front of the factory mirror. Wrap the strap around and hook it to the bottom hook. Connect the power cable. Plug in the rear camera cable. Now this cable is 20 feet long, so that'll give you enough length to run it to the back of the vehicle. The last cable you need to connect is a GPS antenna. Run the rear camera cable and the power cable up to the headliner and over to the A-pillar on the driver's side. With the GPS antenna cable, run this up to the headliner and over to the passenger side. Run the cable down the A-pillar behind this trim piece. Now keep the wires away from the side airbag that you see right here. Run the rear camera cable along the side all the way to the back of the vehicle. Run the power cable along the side down here and take it over to the center console where you'll plug in your cigarette lighter plug. Plug the power plug into your 12-volt accessory port. With the GPS antenna, remove the backing on a double-side tape and then stick this onto the corner of your windshield on the passenger side. I ran the camera cable all the way to the back. Next, tuck this cable underneath this weather stripping and run it to the middle. This rear camera is waterproof. You can install this inside or outside the vehicle. On this bracket, there's a 3M double-sided tape. If you remove the backing, you can install this directly onto the back window or use the included screws and mount this onto a panel. Now they've also included this bracket you can use, and with this bracket you can mount the camera behind the license plate. Connect the two cables together. You can put the extra wires behind the headliner. Now with this red wire you see right here, if you connect it to the backup light, when you put the car in reverse, the LCD display will switch to a backup view with parking guidelines. Now the backup light on this vehicle is located on the rear hatch right here. There's an access panel I can remove. Right here is a backup light bulb. I'll need to connect that red wire onto the positive wire of this backup lights. Here I'll install a T-tap. Connect it to the T-tap. Reinstall the lights. Reinstall the cover. Now we'll turn on the ignition. Once the dash cam power on, the recording will begin automatically. I can swipe on the screen up and down to change the viewing angle. On the menu, I can press this icon and look at the front view and rear view. There's a front camera view. Now we're back to a rear view. Now if I swipe to the right, it'll switch to a backup view. Swipe again, back to a regular rear view. Now while driving, if you want to turn off the LCD, press a power button at the bottom here. It'll switch to a driving mode display. This will show you the speed you're traveling at. If you press the power button once more, it'll turn off the LCD display. Press it once more, and the display will turn back on. Now with that red wire connected to the backup light, Let me show you what happens when I put the car in reverse. As you can see, the view automatically switched to the backup view. Now with this view, I can also swipe on the screen and change the angle. Also, if you don't like the grid line, you can go into menu setting and disable it. Now this mirror does have automatic brightness adjustment. Right now the brightness says A for automatic. Press that. Now you can adjust the brightness manually. Or you can set it for automatic. Let me show you one big benefit of having this LCD rear view mirror. As you can see, I have a big box in the cargo area right now, and it's blocking my view to the back. But with this LCD mirror, I'm able to see my back view without any problems. Let me take a moment to talk about the parking mode on this dash cam. Now this dash cam does not have an internal battery. So to use the parking mode, you do need to hardwire this dash cam to your fuse box, so it will always have power going to it even when you turn off the ignition. To enable the parking mode, first turn off the recording, go into settings, scroll down to parking monitoring. You can set this for low, middle, or high. I'll set this for high sensitivity. Now I'll turn off the dash cam using the power switch at the bottom. At this time, the dash cam is in standby mode. I'll simulate an impact by tapping the mirror. As you can see, the dash cam will turn on automatically and begin recording a 30-second video. After the recording, it'll turn off and go back into standby mode. With a large LCD display, you can use it to play back the recorded video. Stop the recording. Press playback. Here you have the normal recording and the emergency video. Under normal recording, you have the front files and the rear files. This dashcam comes with a GPS video player. You can find the software on the memory card. Here you're looking at the files on the memory card. The software is called Auto Player Lights. Install this file. Here's a look at the software. To choose a file, select the folder icon at the bottom. Select the video file you want to play back. The video file will start playing. At the bottom is a graph showing you the XYZ G-force. At the top right hand side is a Google map showing you the direction of travel. Below the map, it'll show you the speed you're traveling at. Next to it is a compass. So with this software, it'll give you additional data besides the regular video and audio sound. With a full LCD screen, you're able to see a clear image in front of you and behind you. As I demonstrated, this is very useful if your cargo area is filled with things that's blocking your view, or if you have a work van and the visibility to the back is limited. Now looking at the recording of the front and rear camera, I found it to be pretty good. You're able to read license plates in front of you. As for the nighttime recording, even with very little ambient lights, the picture is very clear. As for the installation, it's pretty straightforward. The mirror dash cam is installed using 2 rubber straps. Then you have the power cable, rear camera cable, and the GPS antenna. You have the option to connect to the reverse light, and that'll give you a backup view when you're reversing. I do want to mention the mirror on this unit uses a special laminated glass that reduces light reflection to give you a clear image. If you turn off the LCD and you're looking at the reflected image on the mirror, I notice the mirror has a slight tint on the glass, and that makes the image darker than a regular mirror, so keep that in mind. Overall, this is a pretty good unit. If you want to learn more about it or want to get one, check out the link in the description below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, remember to click on a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, please click on the subscribe button to support this channel. Also click on the notification bell so you'll get notified of my new videos. Thank you and have an awesome day.